In the last episode, we entered the Garden of Eden. God formed Adam from the dust and breathed life into him. He placed the man in a paradise filled with beauty and abundance. From Adam's side, God created Eve, and together they lived in perfect harmony, naked and unashamed. But at the center of the garden stood a forbidden tree, and a single command hung in the air. Now, a serpent slithers into the story. The serpent is described as more crafty than any other beast of the field. It does not roar or threaten. It simply asks a question. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman answers, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say we must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and we must not touch it, or we will die." The serpent replies with a bold contradiction. "You will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The lie is subtle. It does not deny God's existence. It questions God's goodness. It suggests that God is holding something back. It plants a seed of doubt. The woman looks at the tree. She sees that the fruit is good for food and pleasing to the eye. She sees that it is desirable for gaining wisdom. She takes some and eats it. She gives some to her husband, who is with her. He eats too. In a single moment, everything changes. Their eyes are opened, but not in the way they expected. They do not become like God. They become aware of their nakedness. Shame floods in where peace once lived. They sew fig leaves together to cover themselves. Then they hear a sound. The Lord God is walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Adam and Eve hide among the trees. God calls out, "Where are you?" Adam answers, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asks, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man points to the woman. "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." God turns to the woman. "What is this you have done?" The woman points to the serpent. "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." No one takes responsibility. The blame passes from one to another. The harmony of Eden is shattered. God speaks to the serpent first. "Cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." This is the first hint of hope buried in the curse. One day a descendant of the woman will crush the serpent's head. To the woman, God says, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam, God says, "Because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat food from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return." Work, which was once a joy, becomes a struggle. The ground that once yielded freely now resists. And death, which had no place in the garden, now waits at the end of every human life. Adam names his wife Eve, because she will become the mother of all the living. Then God does something unexpected. He makes garments of skin for Adam and Eve and clothes them. Even in judgment, there is provision. Even in consequence, there is care. But the garden can no longer be their home. God says, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life, and eat and live forever." So the Lord God banishes them from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which Adam had been taken. At the east side of the garden, he places cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. The gates of paradise close behind them. Adam and Eve step out into a world that is no longer the same. The ground is harder. The sky feels farther. The presence of God, once as natural as breathing, now feels distant. This is the fall. Not a stumble, but a fracture that runs through all of creation. Relationship with God, broken. Relationship with each other, strained. Relationship with the earth, cursed. And yet, even here, a promise lingers. The offspring of the woman will one day crush the serpent's head. The story is not over. It has only just begun. Thank you for listening to this episode about the fall of humanity. If this retelling of Genesis chapter 3 moved you, please consider subscribing and sharing this video with others. In the next episode, we will follow Adam and Eve's children into a world outside of Eden, where the first murder will stain the earth with blood, and the cycle of sin will deepen.